My new boss keeps texting me outside of work hours. I, 28F, just started a new job 6 weeks ago. My new boss, late 30s M, is really friendly and nice. But he started texting me during work hours. I work from home, which is fine, I guess. But now he's texting me at 7, 8, and once even after 9 p.m. It started out about work stuff, but the last couple after-work texts have been movie and show suggestions, and I'm getting very uncomfortable. What do I do? Just play nice? Ignore it? I don't want things to be awkward, but I don't know how to not piss him off. For non-work related texts, I would not respond at all. If he is sending you work stuff outside your working hours, don't respond until you're next on the clock. If he asks why you aren't responding to the personal stuff, well, maybe you figured they were for someone else since they were of a personal nature? And if he asks why you don't answer work question after hours, you don't work for free. People telling you to run to HR have never had to deal with HR. Running to HR too soon could get you fired for errors in your work, or something else made up. Like others mention, ignore or feign confusion, but don't respond to non-work related exchanges. Maybe even respond to work-related text by sending an email or DMing via whatever app they use at your workplace. Keep screenshots of everything. Only go to HR if he clearly crosses the line. Via text. Don't ever be alone with him in person. Men, especially in upper management, are protected at all costs and beyond all sense and reasoning. Move very carefully. That's the good thing about texts. They can send you one whenever they want, and you can read them whenever you want. Don't play it off. Set boundaries as far as when they can text you. Make it very clear you only talk for work and during work hours. Don't give him a millimeter. Hi X. Appreciate the welcome to the team so far, but I'd prefer if we kept the messages to professional issues and working hours. If he pushes past that, then you have an actual problem. Don't respond to personal stuff at all. Don't respond to work stuff after hours. Lots of guys sadly think there's no harm in just shooting their shot, and have zero situational awareness. I have to agree on setting boundaries early and keeping records. Don't respond outside of work hours. Ignore anything non-work related. Don't play nice. If he is the type to push, he'll take that as implied consent. No need to be mean either at this point from the sounds of it. You decide if his behavior is warranted enough to go to HR. If he respects you setting boundaries, then fair enough. The problem is at this point he can claim, I was just being friendly and thought she was too. Keep records and make sure they show you only respond to work-related items and only during work hours. I would ignore it and say your phone is on Do Not Disturb after work hours. He's clearly trying to establish a personal relationship with you. Unless you're interested. And why would you be? You should do as others are suggesting. Set boundaries and do not reply except to professional matters during work hours. Never answer a work text after hours, ever. Unless it's a group chat with your team where everyone shares stuff like that, it is weird. I keep my phone on D&D. Hi, I'm a 28F and I've had similar situations but with coworkers. Unfortunately, our age and gender can sometimes work against us. My advice, if he's not being overtly inappropriate, do not respond to personal texts. Ever. Respond to work texts during normal business hours. If this is your personal cell and you don't want to start using it for work, then tell him it's your personal phone and you want to keep business communications on business devices. Or you can also tell him, hey, I don't frequently look at my cell during work. Please send requests in emails. If it's a work cell, then yeah, text him during business hours. You can get your point across in ways other than being directly confrontational. I know some people are going to say be very direct, but as a new employee that can set a tone to how he views you. Don't believe me? Look up Harvard Business Review article, the different words we use to describe male and female leaders. Some people like to pretend no one is sexist these days, or they think that they aren't, but they don't recognize their own microaggressions. You have to have finesse. Another option is to get a Google number. Free. Provide that number to your job boss per hour, saying that your number has changed and that they should use that to communicate with you. While on the clock, keep an eye on your calls, texts to your new number via Google Voice app. After work, you will ignore those texts, calls until the next time you punch in. I did this when my side job decided they wanted to add me to a work group chat. I think you can de-escalate by simply asking your boss to use your work email or chat when possible, as you don't want to use your personal phone for work unless absolutely needed. You can even spin it as you just wanting to focus on work and not wanting to be tempted with distractions from your personal life that pop up when you check your phone. This isn't really a contentious thing to say, and establishes clearly that you don't want a personal relationship with your boss without having to say it explicitly. Would document everything because it'll probably get worse. Beyond that, I just wouldn't respond to anything outside of work hours. If he asks why you didn't respond, be direct and tell him that you aren't comfortable talking outside of working hours. I'd imagine that he may be interested and is working that friendly angle. I text my boss randomly outside of work, but it would be much different if he were female. Definitely screenshot, but also send a direct email stating your availability, and any correspondence after hours will be addressed the next day on the clock. It's short and simple and direct. Hell, my daughter works for me and she stated the first week that any work-related texts after hours would be handled when she's on the clock. I was super damn impressed. Be careful, this sounds like he's testing the waters to escalate to something more. Not saying he's a perv, but maybe start looking for a new job, cause this is weird. I had this happen to me with a coworker, except he was blatantly trying to hit on me. I responded, "Do not text me unless it has to do with work." And it got the point across. Only respond during business hours. It is as simple as that. Put in a request for a work mobile phone with all bills paid, citing your managers need to contact you out of hours. CCing in finance and HR. Include a screenshot of the manager's texts and his number and timestamps as the evidence as to why you need the work phone. Ignore it. He's testing the waters. If you respond, he'll think it's an opening. Edit. Added a sentence.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.